Hi friends, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel. This is Sheree and I'm here today to participate in hashtag Scraps on Sunday. So I'm working with fabric scraps today, and I was wanting to I've been working on a little project that started I'm going to say last October. Around then I had showed you at that time in a video I had a big stack of book pages I wanted to use up, and I used them up. This is how I used them, most of them up, was making these tags. So there's tons of tags here. And I think I did some at home. I might have done some on my lunch break. Oh yeah, I think I did. I think I remember doing them on my lunch break. But I also took a stack to Florida with me when I went to visit my parents last October, I think it was. So that's why I'm saying October. And besides putting the pages together, I decorated them like this. I put a little something on the front, what I'm calling the front. What this consists of is three book pages glued together. Okay, then I put a little decoration on the front, and I put something on the back like these. I think most of these have piano roll paper on the back. I think it was really cool and I needed to use it. I had it sitting in my closet for a while, and it makes a really cool backing that you can write on. So there is a piece of piano roll paper on the back. And then I brought them home and I started, I put them in, I have them in a pile over by my sewing machine now. I've got a lot to go, but I wanted to also sew around them. So I've been doing that a little bit here and there. Not as much as I should, because I feel like I should have this pile done by now, but I've been doing other things, like my son got married and stuff like that, so I've been a little busy. But here's some that I've sewn around. I just go around with different stitching. This one has zigzag stitching all the way around. This one has a regular piece of paper on the back, some kind of paper. And then, see, this one I did kind of a variety of stitching. Here's a little zigzag, and then the rest is straight stitch. And this has brown thread, as you can hopefully see. Zigzag here, and again straight stitch. So this has piano roll. Anyway, you get the idea. I've got a stack here, and then so then my plan is to sew around them, and then I feel like some of them needed something else. So let's put that one over there. So like these right here, after I sewed around them, I started adding some little fabric pieces from my fabric scraps. So you can see I just added a little triangular piece. I folded it over and I stitched over it. I didn't glue it on. I just folded it over the top there, and I think it's a nice little addition to the other things that are on here. This is what was done. And then I added the fabric, and it's got light blue thread. And here's another one where I added all of these pieces of fabric. I glued these on and sewed one up there. And like I kind of say, like, if I use book pages, I don't like take time to read them. So like if you ever get anything from me that's made from a book page, I kind of have said, I haven't said it, like I don't say it all the time, but I have said it before, where if you see a word on something you don't like, a page, a journal card, a tag, just cover it up with something, you know what I mean? So I saw a word right here and I was like, I don't know. It wasn't a bad word. It was just like, it's just like a weird, a weird word to see in a tag. So it was the word pregnancy, in case you want to know. I thought, oh, that's weird. Pregnancy right there. So anyway, I was going to put something here anyway. And, like I said, I'm doing something with these, but I made sure I just did this little kind of, it almost looks like a fabric sample or something, where I just put some little, I already have these cut up. I've had them cut up for a long time, and I have other bags of cut up little squares like this too. But yeah, so I just took 3 different ones and glued them down there, and I think it's really cute. So here's another one, just as an example. I put this piece down, a little like rectangular piece, and then I folded this one over and just sewed through the top. And that's all I plan on doing on that one. That one's, I'm calling these done. now. And then here's another one. I just put this little piece on the top. It's folded over. Cute, right? I think it's cute to add a little, you know, it's such a different texture and everything than, you know, something completely different than, even though it's a pretty piece of fabric with, and it's floral, it's different than anything else on here, and a different texture as far as everything else is paper. And then you have a piece of fabric somewhere. I think it adds a nice touch, a nice kind of finishing touch. So I had pulled out, I had pulled out somewhere today, like I'm not going to sew, but I had pulled out these right here to maybe just add, like, we won't get all of these done, and I haven't sewn on all of these, so maybe we'll start with the ones I've sewn on, and then maybe we'll do some without sewing, but and I'll sew on them after the video, you know what I mean? So like these will be like the fabric swatch one, where I just put several pieces of fabric on them like this, in a little cluster or some kind of little, you know, we'll work on it. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen here. We're just going to play around and see what happens. So yes, this is a collab hosted by Denise, Junk Journals UK. And she does Scraps on Sunday, and she opened it up as a collab. So I am participating. And I'm trying not to cut these any further. Like if they're a weird shape, I'm just leaving them. So I'm just trying not to cut them. I'm like tempted to cut this one right now into more of a straight line there or something, but I'm gonna try to leave it. Try not to get all perfectionistic with it, because this certainly isn't meant to be perfectionistic, but you know how it is. So I do like the little tab on the top if I can manage to leave room for that. So I'm going to put this one here, and then I have a little bag, and then I just have some dumped out here, some little squares. Let me move it down so you can maybe see my squares too, my little pieces of fabric here that I've got to work with. This is kind of my blue, and I have some greens and yellows in here too, fabrics. And I have another one with different colors put away in my drawer right now. I haven't got that one out right now. So anyway, this one, I picked this out because this little postage stamp, it's a sticker that looks like a postage stamp, has a little bunny on it. Anyway, it has a green right there. So I thought, why not pick out this green one? But it really doesn't have to match. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of looking for one that might fit right here. So that would be probably the only reason I would trim something. See, that would look cute, just to put those two pieces right there. And then here's another green one. I could put this one on the top as a little topper, and then I would be done. If I was going to do that, I probably would move this up a little bit. Kind of like, there we go. Yeah, that's cute. Very cute. I don't have to have the green one on the top either. Okay, so, and then I'm just gluing them down with some art glitter glue. So we'll go ahead and do some. So this is just an idea of, you know, something you can do with your scraps, a way to add to something maybe you already have and you're thinking, you know, a journal card, or even a page, or a page in your journal, or a cover, you know, maybe the inside cover of a journal, or a pocket, or a journal card or tag, which I know I already said. But yeah, this is a way to add something to them. If you're thinking, oh, it needs something, maybe it needs a little piece of fabric. So that is what I'm doing today for Scraps on Sunday. This is a 2-layer little piece here, and I'm either going to leave it or I'm going to cut it. I'm trying to leave it. I don't know why. I cut it off of something that was 2 layers, and it was sewn together. Right. You know, it would be a good little tab though. I probably should use these as tabs. This one has a little flower. Maybe I'll put this one on the top here as a tab. Since I'm not going to sew right now, maybe I'll go ahead and just glue these little top parts on that I want to sew later. And like they don't have to be sewn on. I just like the look of a little bit of sewing through these. I think it just adds a nice touch. If you just have a little bit of zigzag stitching through there, a nice handmade, you know, fun little sewing touch. Okay, so there, that's going to be sewn through. We have this little piece here. So since we used, I could use, here's a little piece here that I could put right here. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to try not to be like all matchy-matchy and trying to match what's on there. I'm just using up scrap fabrics. And I'll try to reach behind me and get my other bag and show you that I do have another couple of bags of fabric scraps. I have a little drawer, which I've shown you before. Okay, so I'm going to call this one done except for the little stitch I need to go through there. So I'll make a little pile over here of the one I still need to do stitching on. Okay, here's our next one. Let me reach behind me and grab my other bags, and I will show you the other bags I have prepared. These two, I'm not sure why I have them separated, but I do at the moment. So these are little teeny tiny, what I'm calling tiny scraps. And there's all kinds of scraps in here as far as lace, fabric. There's a piece of rickrack I see, you know, in there. There might be some ribbons or some seam binding. So all kinds of little scraps. So I have an idea for these, which I will do. I'm going to try it first, probably off video, and see how I like it. And then I'm going to, because there's two different ways. I have an idea in there, but and then there's two different ways to do it. So, oh, maybe I'll do it both ways, or if I like one better than the other, then I'll do the video where I do my favorite. But yeah, I have an idea how to use these up. So stay tuned for that. So those are my teeny tiny ones, and then the other bag that's about the size of the ones I'm showing you here that I'm working with today is this bag. And this one's all different colors. So, and this is quite full and bulky. And I've cut them all with my pinking shears. So this is something you can do when you're watching TV or, you know, away from your home. If you have some fabric scraps that you want to cut up, take them with you. All you would need is your pinking shears. Or scissors. You don't have to use pinking shears, because I see some in here that are straight cut. But just some sharp scissors, you know, for your fabric scissors and your fabric, and cut away. There you go. You have a little crafty thing to do, and it doesn't take a lot of room to take it with you somewhere. So, and then you too can have a little bag of little squares, little cut up squares. Okay, so next victim here. I'm just going to randomly, but also, since I can at the moment, use, look at that, how good, nice that matches. If it matches, it matches. Let's see how I might want to do this, though. Oh, look at that one. That's cute. That's pretty. I like that. This is just that's just a scrap that's probably go in the trash, so I'm going to put that over there. I would like they can overlap, like I have. These overlap right here. These two overlap and these two overlap. They can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I want them to have a little topper too. So that could be something like, on this one I have a lot of room, as you see. So it could be, I could use two of these. This one doesn't have a lot of color, so I'd put that one underneath. But I could just do something like this. That's pretty. And, you know, I wasn't gluing them down when I did the other ones that I just showed you. I just was over at my sewing machine and I was just putting things together and running a stitch through it. But since I'm not over there at my sewing machine right now, I'm going to put a little glue on here because I like that what I just did. And just put these down. It'll just keep it down until I can get to my sewing machine. So this will be my little topper on this one. And then I'll run a stitch through that later. But these are nice. I just think these are nice to throw into a journal. Put into a journal. Place into a journal. You know, something different. Something handmade. Using up book pages and scrap fabrics, and you know, this was I think this was a fussy cut from wallpaper. So different things like that, all coming together to make a pretty tag or whatever you're making. Okay, so this doesn't have to be glued down, you know, unless you're not sewing, then make sure you have enough glue on there. But see how pretty how cute that is? So, I mean, I could leave it like that. Let me see if I want anything else on here. You know, I really like it just like that, but I just want to check real quick. Do I want a little cluster on here of some kind? I don't know. We shall see here in a second. These two would be cute together. I don't want to crowd my flower, but see, it doesn't go there. That's cute, but I mean, it would be all right there, but I think it's, I don't think I really, here's a small piece. Let's see these two pieces together. This one's a little dark for this. I guess I do have to get a little bit of a matchy-matchy sometimes, don't I? Let's see, here's a smaller piece. Let's see if I want to do something like this. Down here in the corner. I don't think anything looks good up there at the moment. I think I'm going to leave it. I mean, I could put that there, but it doesn't really look like it belongs there. So I think I'm going to leave it just like that. I think that's pretty just like that. That's the back now. So, and then I'll run a stitch through there. So I'll put that in my pile that I need to stitch. And since we made two like almost clusters here, maybe we'll just use these as clusters since we already made them. So I could put this up here. Let's see. Yep. Something like that. Cute. Let me see. It's even. It's pretty even. Okay. So just when I put it down, I want it to look nice. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So for this, I'm going to keep it right in place because I like where I have it. Put a little glue under there so I can glue these two pieces together. And then a little bit of glue under here. And glue it down right over the top here, and it gives a little decoration to the back too when you fold something over, so that's kind of nice. I really like that, how it looks on the back when you fold it over. Got a little something there. Okay, and that's going to be sewn down. And again, do we want something down in here? Let's see. That was two pieces I put together. So let's see, this is wide open for kind of a big square here. And this is another one of those double layer pieces that I either got to leave together or take apart now that I'm gluing on down onto something. So let's see. There we go. Pull the strings out. That worked out. This is from a vintage sheet. It's very pretty, isn't it? The florals on here, very bright colors. And it doesn't quite fit up there. Here's another one. So I hope you're all having a nice day. I couldn't wait to, well, this one's harder to get apart. I'm going to have to grab my scissors after all, or leave this together. I hate to leave it together though. It's like not necessary to have two layers there. Just 1 second. Okay, just 1 second. I gotta find my pinking shears. That was crazy. I put them in the wrong place. Can you believe that? I put them in my fabric drawer instead of my scissor drawer. How could you do such a thing, Sheree? I don't know. But I did. Okay, so I'm just cutting the other piece of fabric from the back of this. See, it's 2 layers. I'm just a little worried about gluing it down with 2 layers. I mean, it probably would be all right, but I'd rather not. Probably, apparently. Okay, so let's see. We'll put that one there. This one here. Or there. I like this one filling in this space. And that one looks pretty too. And I think I'm just going to go for it. Gonna do like a little fabric sample again. And you could sew all over these. I just don't want stitching all over the back. You know what I mean? I thought about that, just sewing all over, but I don't really want the stitching to go through all over the back. Let's see, how did I have this? I'm going to put it like that. Is that how I had it? I think I did, but it fits like that very well. So, in order not to overwhelm this up here, I'm just going to put that right there. So I hope you're having a good day. I am having a good day. I have been doing a lot of crafting, but also I have a little flower garden on my back porch I've been tending to. So I've been deadheading flowers and watering my flowers, watching them bloom. I got some, last year I got some, I have a little garden around my mailbox and I have a little garden on my back porch, little flowers and things. So last year for around my mailbox, in the last few years actually, I've been planting things and trying things out, and I'm trying to get perennials so they come back every year, right? So last year I got a couple new perennials for around the mailbox. That is pretty. I like that. I'm going to leave it like that, but run a stitch through that later, so I'll put that in my stitch file. But yeah, so a couple of the plants that I got last year that were perennials didn't come back, but I have enough plants there so that, you know, when they came back this year, they're getting bigger even than they were last year. You know how that is. Sometimes they get bigger and bigger and multiply and things like that. So I have enough plants around my mailbox where I didn't have to get any new plants to fill in empty spaces. I'm going to try some of these yellow ones on this one. Now this has this little postage stamp sticker, and it has a strip of piano paper there. It was a scrap, and when I had the scraps, I started putting them on the front like that so I didn't have to throw them away. Because I just love that piano roll paper. It's the only one I've ever had, and I think I used it all up. But yeah, that's what I did with my scraps. When I was at my parents' house, I started just gluing them down like that, and I think it looks really nice. So, you know what would look nice here is one of my little clusters. Let's see. We've got, see the smaller pieces I have here. So something like this. Yeah, that looks cute. Okay, we're going to do that. But yeah, so my mailbox is set. I didn't have to get any new plants for around my mailbox. Everything that came back was bigger and everything, so I was set. But on my back porch, I had last year. I'm trying to think. I think I had all annuals. Like I had a geranium, and I had. Try to see which way I want to do this. Let's do it this way. And marigolds. So marigolds, I saved my seeds. And I had some other annuals. I don't remember what the other ones were. But of course, annuals, you know, they don't come back. Except for, you know, if they have seeds like the marigolds, you can plant the seeds. So this year I said, you know what, I'm just going to, because I love geraniums, but my geraniums didn't do anything. They didn't grow big and beautiful. They just kind of just had some little flowers, and that was it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm used to geraniums like growing big and beautiful and having lots of flowers, and it didn't happen last year, so I was kind of disappointed. So, and geraniums have gotten, you know, they're not, they used to be like a really cheap flower, and they're not cheap anymore. That's cute. I like that. Something different, you know, not just the swatches, but a little cluster. So, oh, we didn't put a little piece on the top. Let's put a piece on the top. Let's see. So I might have to get out my other bag. I only have, let's see what I have in here. Blues. A lot of these little light blues from that vintage sheet. And the pink and blue one, I think that was from this one with the blue with the pink flowers. From something like, I'm thinking an apron that I had got. And then I have some of these. These are from a vintage sheet too. Those right there. So, and this yellow one, that's from a vintage sheet also. Okay, so I can see what I have to work with here. I'm looking for something to go up here. So I've got yellow up down here. Maybe I'll put another yellow one up here, and that'll kind of bring it all together. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, so I'm just gonna, oh, let's see. This looks like the front. It's a little brighter colors on that side, so let's put a little blue here, and that'll be ready for me to stitch through later on. And it looks really cute. So on my deck garden, I think all my pots are empty at the beginning of I planted at the end of spring because I had to wait for my allergies to pass to be able to go outside. You know, allergic to pollen. So finally the pollen was gone, and I was able to get out there and work on my pots. So I planted all annuals this year, except for I have like 3 pots where I planted my marigold seeds. So very exciting. All the pretty flowers are nice and growing. So we'll see if they come back next year. I know the marigolds are annual, so I'll have to plant those again. Okay, let's do this one. Oh, that's a big piece. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down right there. So, yes, we'll see if the perennials that I got this year come back next year. I hope they do, because I kind of splurged a little to get some nice plants that will come. Because last year I got the ones that I mentioned that I put by the mailbox were a beautiful plant. It said perennial, but it was, you know, kind of an inexpensive plant. So I thought, well, I'm getting a deal. It's perennial and it's going to come back. But no, it didn't come back. So I wasn't getting a deal. I mean, it was a pretty plant while it lasted, but it didn't come back. So I thought, well, what does that mean? What does that tell me? Maybe if I spend a few more dollars and get a nicer perennial flowering plant, it'll come back. We shall see. I'll let you know next summer. I will let you know. And if you want to know what type of plants I got, if I can remember, I will tell you. Let me think for a second. I took pictures this morning, actually, and sent pictures to my mom and dad so they could see. They live in Florida. I'm from Florida, South Florida. My parents live in Central Florida. But we're all from South Florida. But what did I get? Let me think for a second. Gosh, I'm going to have to write it down. Oh, Coreopsis. Coreopsis was one. That one has yellow. I think that's the one with yellow flowers. The other two, I have to think about. And I might have to write them down because they're very popular plants. And when I say it, you'll be like, oh yeah, I've heard of those. But for me to remember the name, since it's like a plant I never heard before, or I've heard of it before, I just never had it before. I think I'm going to put this up here, maybe. It's a little, let me see this one. If I put that, oh yeah, that'll finish it out nicely. And it'll be like a little swatch one. And I still have the piano paper showing there, so All right, so let's put a little glue on here. We'll glue this one down. If I think of the other two plants that I got, I will tell you. Oh, one of the third one, another one that I didn't mention, that I wasn't thinking of yet, is I got a knockout rose. I've seen them around they have them around the city, and they have them around, other homes. I've seen them here and there the last few years, and they are beautiful. And I've seen them for years at the, at Lowe's or wherever you get your plants. And they're a little pricey. And I didn't really want to spend that much money on a plant. But, like I said, I thought, well, and if your rose bush is in a good spot, it's going to give you some nice blooms. So I thought, well, I guess maybe this is the year I will finally invest in a knockout rose. And it has had blooms on. All the plants have had blooms on them since I got them. So very, very pretty, very worth it for this summer. I just hope they all stay or come back, whatever they're going to do for next spring, summer. So, but I'll let you know the other two that I can't remember right now. And if I think of them, during this video, I'll blurt it out. But there's another one done. Put it in my sewing pile for that top piece. So you kind of get the idea what I'm doing here. I have this whole stack to go through and figure out. If there's one like this, see, I covered this one up pretty good. I'll just put a little piece on the top, so I'll still be using my scraps. In fact, see the color of this? This is perfect for one of these. Look at that. Will look beautiful up there. So I will stitch that on up there. And that is perfect finishing touch. I'll go ahead and glue it down. I'm leaving the 2 layers too. Since it's a top tab, it'll be okay with the 2 layers, I think. It'll be nice tab on top. But yeah, I'll write down my other plants and let you know, in case you're a gardening enthusiast. It's like I've always had a garden, some type of garden, flowers, vegetables, whatever, since I've been married, I guess. No matter where we've lived, in Florida, here, wherever. That's cute. That's really cute. I like that on there. Okay, so I was going to mention I do have 3 vegetable plants. One's on my deck, and 2 are in big pots down in the sun. My deck is in the sun, the part where the plants are, the flowers are. But there's another part of our deck that's down lower that my husband built in the last few years. Anyway, I put 2 big giant pots down there that he brought home from a job that people were throwing out. And he brought them home a few years ago, and I hadn't done anything with them. While I'm talking, I'll glue another one. But, yeah, I hadn't done anything with them, and they were just sitting around. I was like, I got to get rid of these or do something with them. So what I decided to do was I got a tomato plant and planted in one. It looks really pretty, too. And this is a big, kind of rustic-looking planter. That is lightweight. Those big planters that they make that are actually, they look big and heavy, but they're actually lightweight from whatever they're made out of. That's what this is, but it looks very rustic. Anyway, I put a tomato plant in that one. It was small when I brought it home, and I put a tomato cage over it, and it's growing up beautiful and tall, and it's got some flowers on it where it's going to have tomatoes soon, and it's gonna have babies or something. It's gonna have some tomatoes soon, hopefully. It's just got flowers right now, but because I planted kind of late because, like I said, I couldn't go outside because I couldn't deal with the pollen this year. Around here it was extra vibrant, the pollen was. Yeah, so, and then the other big pot I put a cucumber in, and it's vining out and growing, so, I make sure I water those. So that's, and then on the deck I have a pepper plant in one of my, those are the 3 things that I've grown and had very much success with, where I've actually gotten lots of tomatoes and cucumbers and and peppers. So those are the 3 vegetable plants I planted this year. And my son has a little garden too. My son and his new wife, they planted a little garden. They're growing some squash in their part of the yard. So it's all fun. Let's see, where shall I put this? I think I'm going to put it up here. So we'll finish this one off. Let's see. Let's do this as a different color here on this one. And it opens up. Yeah, we can overlap a little bit. That'll look pretty. Yeah, but I just wanted to tell you about all my plants, I guess. And I still can't remember the ones I can't remember. There's 2 with beautiful flowers. And then there's, I'm trying to think if there's more than one that I can't remember. I think I told you all of them, but there's one that it had pretty flowers on when it got it, and I think it's going to have more flowers, I hope. It's a perennial, but it doesn't have any flowers on it right now. Or maybe its blooming season is over, I don't know. But that one, I think I still have the tag for that one. I put all the little tags that came with them with their names on them in the pot with them so I could remember what they were. Since I knew, I was like, I'm never going to remember that because I've never had this plant before and it's kind of a long name. But and I actually, true confessions, I have 3 empty pots. So I went today and got 2 more plants, and one's black-eyed Susan. I've always wanted one and never had one. I don't know why I've never had one, but I found there was one at the Lowe's today. One left. I was like, oh my goodness, it's meant to be. It's here waiting for me. This one's almost done. I needed something at the top here. But I'm like, oh, it's here waiting for me. I better get this before somebody else does. I'm going to put, maybe I'll do it like this. I don't want to cover up that flower. No, that's not enough. That looks lost. So I think I'll do that. But yeah, so I got the Black-Eyed Susan. I know, it didn't even say Black-Eyed Susan. It had the other name, whatever. The other starts with an R, I think. It had the other name on it. But I know, I've looked at Black-Eyed Susan so many times, I know all the names it goes by. So I was like, oh. And plus I recognized it. And I was like, because they come back. And they grow bigger and bigger every year if you plant them in the ground. I'm going to plant mine in a pot. But I think I can divide that up and put it in 2 of my pots. It's a pretty good size one. And my pots are small. So I'm going to divide up that Black-Eyed Susan and put it in 2 of my pots. There's another one. And then I'm going to, the other plant I got, I hope it has the name on it because I just got it because it was pretty and it was a perennial. But it has these spiky looking purple flowers or whatever they are. They're not necessarily, they don't even look like flowers, but it has this spiky bloom on it. So that's 3 I don't know the name of that I will write down and let you know in one of my videos. So I think I'm going to end there. Let's just kind of review what we finished. And so I'm going to be working on these in the behind the scenes. And sometimes I come to you and I'll show you a video, do a video of what I've been working doing off video. So that might be one type, that type of video. Or I'll just show you at the beginning of a video, here's what I finished this week, type of thing, off video. But we finished all these today. I'm just going to run a little stitch through the tops. Can you see okay? Yeah, right there. And then, let me move these over. But yeah, so I've been having fun with my plants and enjoying their blooms. And, family stuff too. So those 4, and then so we did 7 right today, using up some fabric scraps. And I think it's a nice addition. Like I said, it's something different than paper. So you get that, kind of, it almost makes it like special, like, oh, it's got fabric on it, that's special type of thing. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just imagining that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's Scraps on Sunday. Be sure, I always have Denise's channel link below for this video because she is the host, and it is her baby. So Thanks for watching. See y'all in my next... Oh, I can't get that in there right now. I'll work on that. But thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in my next video. Have a great day.